Sup gamers, if you remember last year I decided to rank all of the videos that I had made, and I figured, we'll make it a yearly tradition, why the hell not? So I decided I'd be going about it again. This time I decided to create a template for it, so if you want to rank the shit I've made, if anyone gives a shit enough to do that, right? But yeah, so I'm having two tier lists here this time to keep things a little bit more unique and interesting compared to last time. I'm gonna be ranking them based off of like the quality of the videos themselves, and I'm also doing a separate one for the quality of how good I think the thumbnail looks, which are of course pretty different metrics overall. And like my and because like my way of going about making videos has changed very drastically just in general. Like, a lot of my older videos are written very differently, a lot of my older videos are edited differently, the thumbnail style is pretty obviously changed over time, right? Like, my most modern thumbnail looks nothing like the thumbnail that I first came up with when I returned to making anime videos, back, whatever the fuck it was. I don't remember at this point. I think it was like mid 2024. So I think this actually marks 2 years of me being an anime channel officially. So that's interesting. I'll only have like 23 videos on this template, so it's not like I upload very often, but I very much love doing what I do. I guess we can just head into the ranking. I don't like dragging things out at all, so I'll start with my Show Me Your Love video, which I'd say is fine. It's a very okay video. The majority of the video just feels like plot summary, because my analysis skills weren't that good back then. So a lot of it feels like plot summary until we can get into like how the story affects my own personal life and like the messages that I got out of it. It's a very necessary video because like it directly ties back into why I wanted to make videos again. This manga genuinely made me want to create stuff again. But the actual execution of the video itself is just kind of whatever. For now, I'm gonna put it in the somewhat satisfied tier. Which I should probably explain the tiers a little bit. Mostly satisfied, because I'm never going to be fully satisfied with anything I make. Mostly satisfied are videos that I think are mostly good. Decently satisfied are videos that I think are close to being things that I would be satisfied with. Somewhat satisfied are videos that I just think are okay. Mildly satisfied are videos that I think are okay, but I have more active issues with them. I wouldn't say I really have any like active major issues with this one. With my Show Me Your Love video, I'd care to rank you for videos that are just kind of they stray too far from what my typical format is, so it just feels weird to rank them. And then not satisfied is where I put videos that I think are bad, which I don't think I made a lot of videos that I outright think are bad. I have though. So then next up is my video about kindness. It's kind of the same thing, like plot summary, then the personal story at the end. It's kind of the format there. So a lot of my older videos kind of boiled down to. My analysis skills weren't great back then. And with this video, I think it is an improvement overall, because I have like actual like criticisms of the story itself. So I have like some form of analysis in there. And just generally because I'm discussing like a whole manga, because it's like a 13 chapter short story. The video just generally feels like more complete, like more whole. I'd say it's only slightly better, honestly. This is by far the most viral thing I've made, for sure. Like the title plus thumbnail combination was absolutely made for virality. Something I haven't really replicated since. But in terms of actual quality, I just think the video's okay. It's fine. Probably get into thumbnails. I think that both of these thumbnails are kind of C tier. They are very simple. They work very well. Combined with their titles, they got decent views. But I feel like it's very much me. They're videos that are successful because they understand the algorithm well, understand human psychology well, because it's never really about the algorithm, it's about people, right? And less about like actively looking good. Nowadays, I don't really give a shit about making videos that are the most viral or anything. I just don't fucking care. What I care more about is creating videos that are good and have thumbnails that just look good. Stuff that I can be proud of when I look at it. I don't particularly feel proud of these thumbnails. They get the job done, that's about it. I really don't have any stronger opinions other than that. I really don't. My justice video. It's funny, when I first made this, I absolutely loved it. However, I actually think, in retrospect, I can see way more of the problems than I used to be able to. Like, it's a pretty flawed video. This is the video where I kind of noticed that I really enjoy philosophical discussions as I talk about the subject of justice through a very philosophical lens. Of course, I hadn't really decided that my channel would be philosophy, probably not until my monsters video, and it wasn't really until the volume 2 video that I really leaned into that. A lot of my channels has been extremely experimental, if you couldn't tell. I really like some of the aspects of this video. Like, this is a video that has very high highs, but also some pretty noticeable lows. The main one is that since I'm covering 3 stories at once, I'm spoiling all of them. And I think my analysis of both Death Note and Persona 5 mostly gets the job done. My Oshinoko analysis is basically just plot summary though, and that really drags the video down. Like, this is a video that's very heavily carried toward by the personal stories, how those relate to my perspective on the subject, and less through the actual media analysis, which I think is it's a flawed video. It's also longer than it needs to be, which is a problem that a lot of my older videos have. In terms of the thumbnail, I think I would not put this as a D tier thumbnail, but I'd say lowest of C tier probably. I don't think it's quite as strong as the other two, and you can tell that by the fact that the video just did not get shit for views. Alright, and the next up is my video about arch enemies. I think that this video is one that I am somewhat satisfied with. I think I put it between these two in retrospect. I remember when I first made this video, I absolutely loved it. I think it was one of the best things that I'd ever made at the time. But my perspective on it has kind of changed a bit. Like, the video is... the video is the same issue that I have with, all of my videos, right? It's just fucking plot summary until I get into the fucking, the personal stuff. This time is both personal stuff and context about the creator. You could argue in this video I'm stretching for meaning, finding meaning through external sources instead of through the text itself. I think that this is one of the times where I am stretching the hardest. I will say, at the time, this was by far my best edited video. But I actually think I'm going to put it at the bottom of somewhat satisfied. I think this is one of my better edited videos. I really like the personal message toward the end, but I do think I'm kind of looking into things a little bit too much here. Yeah, there's a video that I went from thinking is one of my best works to thinking is just kind of whatever. It's just okay. The thumbnail, though, I actually quite like the thumbnail. It's pretty good. Simple, but very effective. The blue background, it complements the character design so much better than, my other previous thumbnails. It just works. Alright, and then my video about how I started learning Japanese, how I wanted to encourage people to learn Japanese as well. I ended up quitting, so everything in this video is just like me saying shit instead of like properly. The video's rough. It's probably the worst thing I've made. I think it is the worst thing I've made. Only reason I haven't unlisted it is because I've told myself I don't want to unlist videos anymore. I really want to unlist it though. This video is bad. I also think the thumbnail is awful too. It's a really shit thumbnail. Just too much shit is going on. Like, here's how you can barely even read it from a distance. Like, there's like the space here just feels completely fucking clustered. This might be the worst thumbnail I've made too. Like, it's just such a bad thumbnail. And then my Senko video. This is a video that I have... Well, I remember when I rewatched the video, I didn't have any major issues with it. However, honestly, I don't really get into too many unique themes in this video compared to stuff that I discussed previously, and the video is really fucking long. There's some nuggets of really good things in this video, but I'd actually put it in my mildly satisfied tier. It's just too fucking long. It's just way too long. It really is. Like, I don't like the length of this video. I think it's the main thing holding it back. I don't need to... A video about Senko-san did not need to be an hour long. I could have easily cut a lot of plot context, and the video probably still would have worked just fine, because plot context isn't really needed to explain why Senko-san's such a fantastic manga. I definitely go about it differently nowadays. And to think that this is a second draft of something that I wrote years ago, and the original draft is significantly worse than my actual video too, which is crazy to think about. I guess in general, I'm more willing to be forgiving toward my earlier videos because they're earlier. This one, I feel like I really should have stepped up my game at that point. That's how I feel anyway. And in terms of the thumbnail, I'd say this is one of my more forgettable videos, and the thumbnail isn't really helping. Like, it's not a super memorable thumbnail. I think I'd put it here, honestly. Like, the use of colors looks nice, but it just doesn't really pop that much compared to everything I have above it. And then my my kindness sequel video, which is very explicitly philosophical. I don't really talk about any attaching media, so I wouldn't really say this is like one of my best works, but I actually say at the time this was probably the best video I'd made, which is really weird, right? Because the editing is very much nothing special. The length isn't particularly long. It's just a short, to-the-point video where I elaborate on a subject that I find really interesting from a philosophical perspective. And honestly, I think it's a perfectly decent video. Like, I really don't have that much problems with it. And in terms of the thumbnail too, like, it's a simple thumbnail, but I think it genuinely looks good. I'd actually say like top of B tier. It's like I think this thumbnail looks better than my original thumbnail about the subject of kindness. Like, is that a weird take? And then after that is my CGDCT video. I actually would say that compared to everything else I have in Somewhat Satisfied, I actually think it's a little bit better. I think this is one of my better videos. I think the video is a little long. Like, I didn't need to go... Like, some of the anime I discussed, I probably didn't need to discuss, given the fact that I ended up making a 40-minute video on Bocchi the Rock later on. I probably didn't need the Bocchi section, although writing the Bocchi section for this video was the inspiration for why I eventually made a separate Bocchi video. Like, I think this is a pretty good work that has genuinely solid analysis, isn't mired too much by heavy plot summary compared to a lot of my previous works. One of my friends too had told me that, like, this is like the first time that he could really see myself stepping up my game writing wise, and I can definitely feel it. I feel like this is a clear upgrade over most of what I'd made previously. I still prefer my kindness sequel video over this one. That's because I'm a philosophy tard. I love philosophy, which this video doesn't have a lot of. It's just a solid genre analysis and not much else. In terms of the thumbnail, I mean, I think it's about on par with my Arch Enemy's thumbnail. It gets the job done. It's all right. And then my video on socks. This is one of my... I want to put this in... I don't know where to rank you because it is one of my more different videos, but I actually think this is one of my better videos. I actually think this is better than my fucking main CGDCT video, which sounds fucking dumb, I know, but I actually do think it is a little bit better. Do I think it's better? No, I don't think it's better than my kindness sequel video. Like, this video knows what it is. It's not trying to be super long. It's just talking about one fucking ridiculously stupid and specific subject matter. Like, I came up with the video idea as a joke. I'm like, I'm gonna talk about Yui socks for fucking 7 minutes because it's fucking hilarious. And then I ended up accidentally making it philosophical in the end, which somehow makes it even funnier. Like, I really like this one. I had so much fun making it. This is definitely some of the most fun I've had working on a video. The thumbnail, meanwhile, thumbnail's kind of bad, not gonna lie. Like, there's so much going on. Like, it's a funny thumbnail, but it just does not look that good. It really does not look that good. Like, the text is just kind of all over the place, which, of course, a lot of my text is like that in general because I'm taking the Persona 5 styles, but this one's just takes it too far. I swear this is not a joke, and there's other text below it, which I intended to be comedic, but I can't even fucking read it from this distance. And then, like, just the complete, it's just, like, everything in this thumbnail just feels like it's kind of tacked on together instead of feeling like it's fits in naturally. It's not a good thumbnail. And then my love game video. I think this is a video that this is one of my more forgettable videos, honestly. I want to put it in decently satisfied. However, I don't feel like I could. Because this is one of those videos where, like, I want to talk about it again, because, like, Love Game is one of my favorite manga. I was considering talking about it again when the anime aired, but then the anime adaptation ended up being dog shit, which sucks because it's because the manga's so good. I put it at the top of somewhat satisfied. Like, it's not one of my most memorable works, but it does a good enough job at talking about why I love the manga so much. It's also, I think it's also one of my more interesting videos from a philosophical perspective, because I talk about, like, self-worth, moving goalposts, being comfortable with who you are, insecurity, all the shit that I struggle with heavily. I mean, Yukiya is one of the most relatable fucking anime protagonists I have ever seen, and I feel like I got across the ideas in that video really well. It's crazy too, because, like, it's been about 1.5 years since I made that, and I'm really not that much different from who I was, really not that much different now from who I was when I made this video, which is actually kind of really sad when you think about it. Meanwhile, the thumbnail, I actually had 2 different versions of the thumbnail. One version of the thumbnail, which was the original, which I probably would have put in C tier, and then this version of the thumbnail that I cobbled together in a last-ditch effort for it to get more viewership, and I think this thumbnail looks really bad. Like, this is one of my worst-looking thumbnails. Like, the fact that that text is just, like, I hate what I did with the text here. It looks so bad. It's so fucking bad. Oh my god, it's so bad. Yeah, this is one of my shittiest thumbnails. And then I'm gonna take a sip of water real quick. Alright, so here's the reason why the IDK where to rank you tier exists, and it's because this video is so different from everything else that I've made that I just don't really know where to put it. Like, I think that this is a fun video to watch. Like, when I rewatched this video, I was like, oh yeah, actually I'm having fun. The majority of the video is just me yapping, and then my friends making jokes sometimes, which it's great shit. I think it's I think it's a fun video, but like it's so incomparable to anything else I've made that like I just can't really place it anywhere. I just don't really know how to feel about it, right? As for the thumbnail, it is it is just ludicrously simple. One of the most simple thumbnails I've ever made. I guess I put it here. It's fine. I'm realizing I'm really harsh toward my thumbnail work. Like I'm really fucking harsh. A bit less harsh than I am toward the videos themselves. I'm surprised this has been more of a top-heavy list than I was expecting, given the fact that I generally don't love most of what I've made. Although, for me, Decently Satisfied is like a 6, maybe 7 out of 10. A Somewhat Satisfied is like a 6. Okay, a Decently Satisfied is like a 7. Somewhat's like a 6. Mild is like a 5. Like, I guess to make it clear that I'm not trying to dick ride myself, because again I just don't think I make particularly amazing stuff. I really don't. Speaking of which, my autism video, which when I made it I thought it was a solid enough video. However, rewatching it, I couldn't finish it. The video is too ambitious. I'd say I put this in the bottom of mildly satisfied. It's got good things to it, but like the video is separated into 3 different parts. The first part is me talking about like autism itself. Second part is me interviewing my autistic friends. Then the third part is me going over like my own personal experiences having autism. And the video is just too ambitious, honestly. Like, a lot of the stuff I covered in this video, I already covered last year. The main excuse to making this video was just so I could have something on the anime channel related to the subject. I'm not really gonna make a video about autism again, because this video kind of already goes into everything that I'd ever need to. Like, I'll probably talk about like specific aspects of autism in future videos, but I'm never gonna do like a big deep dive like this ever again. Like, for me, the main slog is the interview part. Like, you feel the length. Like, if you're not watching this video as background noise, it's pretty much fucking impossible to finish it. Like, it's just, it's a fucking slog. And then, as for the thumbnail, I mean, the thumbnail's fine. I think I'm gonna put it here. I wish I could be more positive toward this thumbnail, but yeah, it just doesn't really do it for me. Like, my old thumbnail style of like character on the left, text on the right is one that I'm just not super enthusiastic about. I just don't feel very strongly toward it. And then my video about short form anime, this is a video that I'm not satisfied with at all. It's not that so I think this is the only video that I put in the, so I'm gonna put it here. Last minute tier list change, what? But yeah, my short form anime video I just don't think is that good. It is just like several unrelated reviews put into one video where I try to have a greater point at the end. It just doesn't really work. It's just such a fucking boring ass video. I'm gonna place it here in terms of my thumbnail ranking. I put it here. It's better than my Love Game thumbnail, because Skibbity Jim Moo is genuinely that funny. Like, it's a somewhat effective comedy thumbnail, but it clearly looks worse than everything else, than most of what else I've made. And then my friendship video. This is a video that is very interesting. When I first made this video, I'd say this is absolutely the best thing I made, is what I thought at the time. If you couldn't, I tend to be very biased toward things that I just make. I tend to think those are my best works. In retrospect, though, this video has quite a lot of problems. The main one is that the actual analysis is not that good. It's mostly plot summary. I talk about Karuhana and Clanad mostly through plot summary, and then I get into like how those series relate to my own life later on. But it's just like I feel like I'm edging the viewer for too long. I don't like actually get in to what those series mean for me until later on, which I think is a pretty big fucking issue to have in a YouTube video. My analysis of Persona 5 is genuinely good. I like the analysis of my own novel that I did, which, I mean, I better, right? Like, I fucking wrote that shit. I better know how to analyze the fucking shit that I wrote. And then, but I think the biggest missed opportunity with the video is that my analysis of Little Busters is fucking dog shit. It is literally just plot summary. I don't analyze shit, which sucks because there's so much to go into with Little Busters. Just so much. But this video seems more like an excuse of, I wanted an excuse to talk about Little Busters, rather than, here's how Little Busters relates to the subject matter. Granted, the personal story stuff still genuinely works. Like, it's emotionally effective. I would say I think it's better than my CGDCT video. I don't think it's better than my Socks video, though, because my Socks video doesn't waste time on fucking plot summary shit. Yeah, let me make the... Let me zoom shit in more. Let me move my PFP as well. Yeah, that works. So, yeah, so where was I? It's crazy to have the friendship video this pot, too, because, like, before I rewatched it, I just kind of assumed, oh yeah, this is one of my best works, clearly, and then I rewatched it and went, oh, no, it's not. It's really not. In terms of the thumbnail, though, I think this is a really solid thumbnail. I put this in A tier. Extremely simple, but man, does it work. It really does. And then, next up is my first Blue Archive video, specifically about Volume 3. I think that at the time, I thought this was easily the best thing I made, and I actually think I was right. I would not put it in the mostly satisfied tier, because the video is unfortunately very plot summary heavy. However, one thing that the video absolutely gets right is the editing. This is easily the best edited video I made at the time. And although it's not perfect editing wise, there are definitely some situations where I feel like the transitions take too long. This is easily the most cinematic feeling thing I had made at the time. I gotta give myself props for that. And like, it was the first time that I experimented with like commissioning a voice actor for parts of the video, for a part of the video. I feel like that went over really well. And the actual like analysis that I do bring in, along with the plot summary stuff, is genuinely decent stuff. I could do it way better. Like, I wish I could do over making a Volume 3 video, because Blue Archive Volume 3 is like one of the greatest fictional stories I've ever fucking read. It is that peak. But for what it is, it's decent. And the personal story stuff at the end, I think, is handled really well. I think it's also because it's one of the situations where I'm I don't really overshare on this one, which is a fucking huge problem that I have with some of my older videos. Which I'd say also includes the next two videos that I'll be talking about here. But for now, I'll rank the thumbnail. I wouldn't quite consider this to be an S tier thumbnail, but I definitely think it's better than it definitely was my best thumbnail at the time as well. Like, I love how I changed the color of the sky, have the, like, the persona effect along with Hifumi. It is like, it feels like my style. I feel it feels like I really developed my own style, like inspired by the persona aesthetic that still feels like me. If it wasn't clear, like I later have kind of graduated from fully relying on persona aesthetics, although I of course still love using persona aesthetics. And then my Bochi video. I'd say the main issue with this video is that the first like 5 minutes feel like the first like 4 minutes feel like a review. Meanwhile, the rest of the video feels like philosophy. My videos shine when I talk about philosophy. They're just kind of whatever when it's a review. So I would say that with the exception of that issue though, this video is actually one of my more tightly written ones. Like, it kind of does everything it needs to really well. The parallel between Bochi and Kita is easily the sharpest part of my analysis, and the video stays mostly focused on that. Like, even when I talk about things that feel unrelated, like the quality of like the music stuff, I'm still able to relate it back to character analysis in the end, which I think prevents the video from feeling like 100% review and mostly like a philosophical analysis that happens to have some review elements in it. I don't think this is the best thing that I've ever written, but I do think it's one of the better things I've written. Like, I would absolutely put it above my second kindness video. Would I put it above my BA video? I actually don't think I would. I have a soft spot toward this one, even though the Bochi video is probably better. And then in terms of thumbnail, this is easily the best thumbnail I've made at the time. Like, oh my god, this looks so good. I'm honestly still impressed that I made this. Like, I fucking love the explosion of colors in the background. It looks so fucking cool. Like, I had to do so much fucking photo editing to make this look as good as it did. Like, I put so much effort into that thumbnail, but it was worth it, man. This is easily one of the coolest looking thumbnails I've done. And then the next one is me talking about No Emergency Door by Natori, because I'm a fucking huge Natori fan. I like analyzing his music. This video feels like I'm just using the song as an excuse to talk about a broader subject. So you could definitely say that, like, at some parts I feel like I'm stretching, some parts I feel like it has some pitfalls. This is one of the riskiest videos that I've ever written. I think it mostly works. However, it definitely has some pitfalls. I'll put it here in my ranking. I'm glad I made this, but yeah, it definitely is one of the most experimental things that I've written. And in terms of the thumbnail, I think it's a solid thumbnail. I really like my use of colors here. I think it looks really nice. I actually think I put it in the bottom of B tier though, just because like it lacks the powerful simplicity of my other B tier thumbnails. Like I think it looks better than this one. No, I don't. Like, I think that's a fair spot for this thumbnail. Then next up is my video, How Do We Create Monsters, where I talk about Taco P, Persona 5, American Psycho, and Blue Archive, which is the weirdest fucking combination of media ever. Like, the pinned comment is, what a wonderfully psychotic thumbnail and spoiler lineup. Like, yep, this video is psychotic in all the best ways. I think this is a genuine contender for the best thing I've ever made. Like, I think this is a genuine contender for one of the best things I've made. Like, I really like this one. Yeah, like, this is like the most expressly philosophical video I made at the time. Most of what I talk about in the video relates to the philosophy itself. I will say during my Takopi section, I am like I had to give context to like most of the plot events while also getting into like my analysis of it. I think I mostly tread that line finally, although I definitely write it more tightly nowadays. Still, even in a top tier video, I still have things that I fucking criticize about it. I also think that my central thesis might be a little too geared toward optimism. However, this video is absolutely an honest reflection of how I felt about life at the time, so I think it works. And then another thing I think works too is the thumbnail. I think this is a really strong thumbnail. I don't actually would put this in my S tier for thumbnails. I don't quite like it as much as my Bochi thumbnail, but I think it's a really solid thumbnail. Like, it is a fucking goofy ass looking thumbnail. It is a fucking dumbass looking thumbnail. The fucking having Marina next to fucking Patrick Bateman is the dumbest fucking shit I have ever made for a thumbnail. It's so stupid, but somehow it just kind of works. Like, it's such a dumb thumbnail. Like, it's like it establishes the serious tone while also looking stupid and goofy at the same time. I don't know how I managed that. I like the color contrast on each side too. I have the persona thing in the background to give it more flair. I used a lot of like vignette effects. I have a version of what the thumbnail looked like without them. The thumbnail looked fucking dog shit without them. It looked so bad. Kind of looked like how this thumbnail looks, or like how this thumbnail looked. Like the vignette effects help so much for establishing the tone, keeping the focus on the center. Then for good measure, I also added the halos of the Arya squad members in the top left corner, which I don't think is a detail that a lot of people are going to recognize. Mostly because when they look at this thumbnail, you don't assume that I'd even talk about Blue Archive, because, like, I don't know what people assume when they look at this thumbnail. I think they just see fucking Taco P next to American Psycho and go, that's fucking stupid, let me click on this. And then, yeah, and then my video on Kimito Koete Koi ni Naru, I think is a very interesting video. This is similar to my No Emergency Door video, and the idea that this video is extremely experimental in terms of the tone, because I'm less talking about philosophy and I'm more talking about making an argument about media analysis itself through the lens of an argument about the validity of the show's themes. Because, like, I'm of the belief that even though the subject matter of the show is uncomfortable, that someone could pretty easily misinterpret it as something very negative or very wrong, that giving power to bad interpretations doesn't necessarily is worth the risk of allowing for a beautiful story to exist, which I do genuinely really like this anime. Despite me, of course, having issues with the production values. I guess not perfect, of course, but I think it's a good story. Now, as a video, where would I rank this? That's a good question. I don't know. Like, I've only seen this one once, which was when I first made it. So my perspective is not gonna be as clear as it probably should be. I think I put it here. Maybe lower than I'd ever end up putting it when I rewatch it. Maybe higher than I will end up putting it when I rewatch it. But I think this is a adequate spot for now. In terms of the thumbnail, it's decent. Like, it's a thumbnail that works, but not a thumbnail that is particularly doing that much interesting. I think it's a solid B tier thumbnail, but not much else. And then my English spelling video, which is definitely one of my more This is the video, all right. I put it in my, I put it right next to like my video with where I talk about introducing anime to my friends. Like, it's about that tier. It would have been in the I don't know where to rank this tier because this is so different compared to everything else I've made. I think the video mostly works. Like, first off, it's genuinely funny. Like, I have some solid jokes in here. Actually, I'm gonna put this in the top of mildly satisfied. Maybe the bottom of somewhat satisfied. However, I do think this video does kind of fall apart in the second half because it stops feeling less like, oh, this is actually somewhat decently well thought out language reform, and just devolves into complete fucking chaos. And of course, I got plenty of comments criticizing how I went about doing that, which I think is perfectly fair. This video is not particularly strong. I knew that when I finished it. However, I think I even wrote a pinned comments clarifying, oh yeah, this isn't like, I know that I'm not making anything particularly special with this, just to be like completely transparent, right? Let me find that pinned comment I wrote. I want to clarify my intentions when making this video. Are my fixes good? They're not, and that's part of the fun. Of course, this doesn't mean that I'm not open to hearing criticisms. Feel free to keep giving your own thoughts while explaining where you disagree with mine. I invite that kind of discussion, especially since the comments have all been incredibly respectful. The goal with this video is solely as entertainment that could potentially spark discussion on an interesting subject. If I'm just writing this here so that I don't give the same reply to every comment. Feel free to keep giving feedback if desired. Like, I'm actually surprised by how well worded that I wrote that. I'm actually surprised by how well worded I wrote that. But yeah, like, basically that was me acknowledging, yeah, this is definitely not my best work, but I made it because I thought it was fun. And that was definitely a pivot that I wanted at the time, just to make something that was lighter and could focus on my more comedic side. Just by focusing on something that's just stupid. And like the thumbnail works too. The background has a lot going on in it, but it's not super prevalent. In retrospect, I feel like I should have misspelled Puerto Rico in the thumbnail. That would have been so much funnier. The Duolingo owl with the fucking water gun is a really funny touch. Like, I think this is such a dumb thumbnail. It's so much dumb bullshit's going on, but man, this is a comedy thumbnail that I actually think lands pretty hard. I would put it... Is this too high? Is this too high? Oh, whatever. Okay, in retrospect, I think the Senko video is a little bit better than this, but whatever. Alright, and then next up is my Volume 2 video, which I think I can be pretty blatant in saying that my most recent 3 videos I would put in my mostly satisfied tier, all of them. Like, these are all videos that I think mostly meet my standards. In terms of like specific ranking, I would say that my volume, I'd probably put it like this. I think that would be so I guess if we like went in order, my proposed video is interesting because it is a video that is not quite as ambitious as some of the stuff I have lower. However, it is very focused and to the point. I don't really waste any time. The video is like 6 minutes long. It earns all of its time. The moments of me giving context are brief. Like, any lyrical analysis that I do is focused strictly on lyrics that matter toward my thesis, rather than trying to analyze the entire thing, because that's not what the video is about. And the philosophy I was able to get out of it, along with the specific comparisons that I made to Takupi, which many people believe this song was inspired by, which wouldn't surprise me. Like, Like, Natori has had anime inspirations for some of his songs. Like, the big obvious one, of course, would be Serenade, given how that's literally the Oshinoko OED. But yeah, I think I did a fairly good job with everything. Like, it's not ambitious, but it does everything it needs to, and it does that as well as it really could, in my opinion. So yeah, I think this is one of my better things. And then my Volume 2 video, I think this is one of this was like when I really started to step up my game. Like, everything just feels focused, tight, compact. There are moments where I feel like it might feel too focused and tight. Where especially like I kind of like cobbled together like a personal note toward the end, and you can kind of feel how shoehorned it is. So I'd say, again, like, even videos that I think are my best work, I still have issues with. Like, I don't make perfect stuff. Like, I probably never will. However, I just make stuff because I like doing that, right? Because I like doing it, right? And then my Hina video. I think this is absolutely my best work so far. The script is tight. The personal sections don't feel tacked on. They feel very tied to the thesis. And I kind of waste no time in this video. It is easily one of the most tightly written things I've ever made. It took so much discipline to not go into like a massive ramble about stuff that isn't related to my thesis, but I was able to do it. Like, this is one of my most disciplined videos. And then, in terms of the thumbnails for all of them, I would say that my Volume 2 thumbnail I'd put here, my Hina thumbnail I'd probably put here, and then my proposed thumbnail I think I'll put in the bottom of A tier. Yeah, I still think the Bochi thumbnail is probably, I think it's the best thumbnail I've made so far. Like, the colors pop so fucking hard, but like, yeah, my modern thumbnail style has definitely been improving. It's unfortunate how bottom heavy my thumbnail tier list is. Like, I don't think I made great thumbnails for quite a long time. But I'm glad that I'm improving. In terms of like the actual video quality though, tier list is a little bit more even. I think I have more videos in this top high tier than I had last year, so I'm clearly starting to appreciate what I'm doing more. However, I know myself, next year when I make this video, none of these 4 are gonna be in that top tier anymore. Like, I know that, like, because I can never be satisfied with anything I make, like, ever. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. If you guys even give a shit, which probably don't. I wanna give a thank you to my Confidant tier patrons, Regimania and Eternum, and I also want to plug my Patreon real quick. I got 4 different tiers, so if you want to give me money, you can give me money. Okay, I'm just gonna end the video now.